probably why he has such a phenomenal ass.
So who cares? Why not do your own thing and let them say what they want?
Oh my god, what is up, strangers? I don't even know how to start a video anymore, apparently. I'm here to tell you guys that I miss you so fucking much, and here to just divulge everything that's been going on in my life recently, while also wearing a onesie, which is basically my body's final form. I'm still working on the body, you know, but the final form of my body type would definitely be me in a onesie. So at this point in time, this is my final form, but the body itself is not the final form. What am I talking about? Man, I have missed rambling to you guys, which is like the main way I even talk to anyone. Like, you guys are like my main friends. Even though I'm making real life friends, I still feel that way. I still feel like the only person I can actually open up to and talk to and just like fucking be narcissistic about like what's going on in my life and just talk about it and feel good afterwards is you guys. So thank you so much for being the conglomerate of people. That's not the right word, is it? That's more of like a business word, isn't it? Thank you for being the comprehensive list of people that love me enough to watch me ramble about myself incoherently and go off on tangents. I appreciate you. Before we get into this, I may or may not have something to announce that involves this. And if I don't cut away after I finish the sentence and tell you all about this, then it's not ready yet. So only time can tell. Let's see. Are we gonna cut away? Did we do it? Only you guys know, because I'm in the past and you are in the future, which is now the present as you're watching this. Anyway, I've done a lot of stuff in my life, but really, when I was looking through my IRL account for Instagram yesterday, I realized like how much I miss you guys. Like, I scrolled back and I was looking at some of the like teaser videos that I post on Instagram for each of my videos, and I'm like, dude, I miss doing this so much, and I miss you guys so much, and I miss like talking things out with you, and I miss having like an extended group of friends who can all give me feedback at once on a video. As small as my community might be, especially compared to like how many subscribers I've accrued over the years, I just fucking love you guys so much, and I feel kind of like I've been missing a part of myself not doing this as much. And I'm not doing it less for any reason really, other than I'm way too busy with like the condo, with my new fucking life, like completely changed upside down since last year. By the way, it's been almost a year since I met Hunter. Our fucking anniversary of meeting is on August 28th, which is 4 days after his birthday, which is a whole nother thing that's making my life so busy right now. But anyway, other than being busy, the only other reason I haven't posted videos is because like I'm demonetized and then everything's getting age restricted, and I really feel like there's some kind of weird YouTube purge going on right now that they haven't talked about, that I haven't seen any like videos on from the Quartering or anyone else. It just really feels like there's a point of no return now where my kind of content is getting even more harshly judged based on age restriction, and then also I just literally cannot be monetized, ever. I reapplied for the 4th time, and this time they actually like literally rejected me, and they didn't tell me why. It's just like, no, some of your content doesn't work, so unless you want to like throw away a bunch of your content and like try to just pick and choose and guess, which is like my compendium of fucking passion and creativity, and has like a whole history of like the stuff I've gone through and how I've gotten better and worse and changed my life. I don't want to just go deleting things willy-nilly, so I'm basically just gonna stay demonetized. And the only reason I want to make videos is 1, because this is like my therapy, 2, because it's my creative outlet and it's something I'm extremely passionate about, and 3, just like for creative reasons, like for fun, and I guess to keep myself a little bit relevant, because people who watch me on here, they like my personality or they think I'm hot, they might transfer over to my OnlyFans or my Patreon or my Twitch, which I've gotten back into. We'll get to that. But everything is like weird and upside down, and sometimes I forget who I was, surrounded by plushies and surrounded by color. I forget this person, you know, sometimes. And so going back and reminding myself and then getting back to those things that I do miss that I can reincorporate into my new life, I really don't feel like it's that different. But when I watch those videos and I see the backgrounds and I see the sets and all this stuff, I'm like, wow, it is kind of different, you know, and I want to get back to aspects of that. Even though I've upgraded certain aspects of my life that make me happy, I still want to be that aspect of me. So things that have happened recently, I don't know what to say, but I feel like I have a perfect relationship with Hunter. Like, a lot of people say, like, oh, there's no such thing as a perfect relationship, and I agree, because we do have arguments, we do have disagreements, we aren't the same person, but at the same time, that and the way that we handle it is perfect. You know, like, if you have too perfect, quote unquote, the way people would normally think of a perfect relationship, if you have too perfect of a relationship, that means you guys are like lying, hiding things from each other, because there's no way that people get along that well to the point where there's no disagreements, no arguments, and no things you have to like talk about or, oh, dare I say it, compromise on. You guys know how I feel about compromise. But the way we handle things is great, and like, I've said this before, but it's just so cool to like look back on the video I did with the Jack and Jill thing. The first time Hunter was in one of my videos, I was actually watching it today and I thought it was cute, where he called himself single as fuck, and how he just like really came off as like a fuck boy, like not himself. And then seeing how he is around me now, most people, I feel like they don't go through that like, I don't care about this person to I really care about this person, and being able to see that person evolve into that. Most people in my life have always been like either enamored with me right away because they either knew my online persona or they just really wanted to fuck me and they thought that the lust was love or something. Or they're just super fake, and then that fakeness kind of dies off and they get worse. You know, like most people have like a facade that they put up to try to get into people's pants at first. And then that wears off, and then they're like a shittier person, like, and the romance goes away, and the honeymoon phase goes away. But I really do feel like with Hunter, the honeymoon phase is not going to go away, because he's just getting better the more that he loves me, which should be the correct thing to do. And it's what I'm doing, even though I was pretty, like, clingy and myself and all that shit in the beginning. I'm also doing more things for him and loving him more, and therefore I'm a better person to him, and I'll sacrifice more for him or whatever. And it's just amazing to feel that, because I don't know, I've always had consistent people who are just consistently whatever, which in my other video, you know, I talked about can kind of be fake, because if you're doing all these sweet things for a person you're going on a first date with, that's got to be fake, because you don't care about them yet, you know? So it's just like, again, that facade to get in their pants. But anyway, like, I want to share with you something that I can share with you, which is another reason why I don't do videos as much anymore, because I can't like just openly gush anymore. And you know, it seems like a small sacrifice to not be able to talk about my sex life and stuff. I mean, no, it doesn't, because my channel's kind of built off of that. Like, all the things that get views are going to be sex related usually, unless it's like, you know, a fluke or something. Like, I do some kind of inflammatory title and then it's like a fluke that people watch, like, I am not okay or something. But it seems like a smaller deal than it is to not talk about my life, but just having anything that I can't talk about, which is like new and foreign to me, has made it so that like I feel like I'm constantly thinking about what I'm gonna say. Like, even though I can kind of edit it out, I don't want to go on a whole fucking like 20-minute tangent talking about something and then I have to cut it out, because in retrospect I'm like, shit, how is that going to affect Hunter and Hunter's career? You know, so it's annoying. But anyway, here's something I can share with you. So I am trying to get used to being high, but as I've told you guys before, I don't smoke weed or anything like that, or I didn't, because I always felt like it made me extremely paranoid, and I just didn't like the way that I felt on it. Like, I felt really not myself and really weird, and I realized that a lot of that is just like whatever mindset I'm in at the moment. Let me get more comfortable. I'm trying to figure out how to get comfortable and look hot, you know. It's a struggle. This is a new set, you know. We're trying to figure things out. But anyway, I would always get really paranoid often, or I would get too much in my head and I would like create problems that aren't there, and it would be like really annoying to be high. So like oftentimes I would be like, I just don't like getting high. I'm not going to get high. But I've been trying to like take edibles and kind of get used to that. So I do that on the weekends sometimes, and I was on an edible and I was pretty fucking high, and we were watching I Shouldn't Be Alive, which is a TV show I've talked to you guys about before. It kind of grounds me into reminding myself that like the hiking that I do and the traveling and adventuring that I do is dangerous, and just random things that don't seem like a big deal, just mundane things and choices that you can make can turn into you being lost and almost dying and being stuck in the Grand Canyon for 25 days. So that was the first episode I showed him, was a girl being stuck in the Grand Canyon for 25 days. And then I showed him another one. And then after the second one, he was so into it too. He was like, oh my God, like what's going to happen next? It was so funny. Like, he literally said once, he said, are they going to make it or something? And the way, oh my God, I'm laughing before I tell you why that punchline is funny. But like, The show has the real people. It has a dramatization of what happens, and then it has the real people talking about their experience. So if you have the bitch talking about how she was stuck in the Grand Canyon 25 years ago, talking about her experience, she clearly made it, right? So anyway, that's funny. But after the second one, I was like, oh my God, I actually did a parody of these for my Halloween special in 2019, I think it was. If you guys haven't seen that video, that was the inception of me trying to do these cool B-roll out and about videos, and those are my favorite videos on my channel. I love them to death. I used Vlad or Victor, one of the two, so it was lower quality, and I didn't know how to like incorporate music, and I didn't know what I was doing with B-roll, but I had the passion for it, and that was my first one. And so it was like a mockumentary style version of I Shouldn't Be Alive, where we go do a hike and we actually saw tarantulas and Jay actually hurt his hand, and it was so fucking cool, and I was just being like a sarcastic asshole the whole time, and it was amazing. And Jay was like, I even did like I'll post it in the comments. I have so much passion for it, so if you want to watch it, I think you'll laugh. But I was like, you know what? I was high and I was in my head, and I was like, I really want Hunter to watch this video, because now that he's really into I Shouldn't Be Alive, and by the way, the only video he's ever watched of mine ever was the one about my new fuck buddy. So the one about him. He didn't even watch any of the videos he's been in or anything. So like he doesn't even really know my online persona, if you can call it that. He doesn't know the things that I've been passionate about, the creative aspects. Like he knows my personality because in my opinion and in a lot of people's opinions, it's exactly the same as in real life. Like it's just like this. Like this is how I am, you know? And I'll talk philosophy, but not as in depth with him as I would in a video. So I've always wanted him to watch like the creative side of me and the philosophical side of me that he doesn't get a full grasp of, because that's just like not our relationship yet. So I mentioned it, I'm like, dude, I made a mock version of this. And he was like totally down to watch it. But like before I turned it on, I have never felt more insecure about my content and like my personality, and like, oh my God, is he gonna like this? Because like his opinion of me actually matters now. Like he's now my person. So he's the one that I'm like worried about, you know, if he thinks it's dumb or if he gets bored or if he's like, let's stop watching this or something. And he's pretty outspoken like that, so I feel like he would if he didn't like it. And I've never been that nervous about someone watching my content. Usually I'm pretty confident about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm cool, I'm funny, like, yeah, this is what I do, whatever, you know, it might not be that important, it might just be entertainment, but, you know, I fucking really like what I do. And I was, like, freaking out, and I know it was the weed, and I know it must be some kind of small repressed feeling that I have in the back of my head, but holy shit, I was nervous. So we watch it, and he's, like, laughing, and he likes it. And then, like, a couple days later, I was like, I was really nervous to have you watch that. Like, I just, like, told him in the car. I was like, you do not know how nervous I was because I was high or whatever. And he was like, I should have been we're coming to a head now. The point of this story was to show how amazing he is to me and like how, I don't know. But can you believe, if you go back and watch the Jack and Jill videos, which I'll post in the comments too, can you believe that fuckboy that said that he breaks up with girls for their sake because they get too clingy? Like he literally said this. He breaks up with girls for their sake because they should break up with him because he doesn't have enough time for them and they get too clingy and he knows that they won't break up, so he has to do it. He literally said that in the video. Like, holy shit.
You do the breaking up for them because you realize how completely unfair it is, and you're like, you need to dump me, but you will not dump me. So it's like the like quintessential, it's not you, it's me, but I have to do it for you because you are not strong enough to do it yourself.
Wow, you're such a fucking saint.
What can I say? I'm just saving the day. Probably the deepest thing I've ever said also. I just have to dump these girls for them because they won't do it themselves.
This guy said this to me. He was like, I feel bad that I haven't been watching your videos because like I watched it and I think you're really funny and really talented, and like I love seeing that side of it, and now I understand why you want to stop the car sometimes to take footage of something, and it makes more sense in the grand scheme of things. And I was just like, oh my God, like it just feels so good to have someone so removed from that side of my life, so removed from that community, which is like not a thing I really encounter. Like all of my friends, acquaintances, you guys, everyone knows that I'm a Twitch streamer or a YouTuber, or that I'm like outspoken on platforms and that I have this sense of humor. And it's like finding a new person and then they so don't watch YouTube. Like he watches YouTube TV for like Family Guy and stuff. He does not watch YouTube barely ever even to like find out how to do something. You know, like some people will Google like, how do I take the doors and top off my Jeep or something, and then you'd get a video. He doesn't even do that. Like, he's not a YouTube guy. He doesn't watch YouTube. He listens to NPR on the way to work, like fucking radio news, like a boomer or something. Like, he doesn't know what OP means, overpowered in video game. Like, he doesn't know any of that stuff. And for him to be like, what you did is really cool, I think you're really funny, and like respect that about me, it I don't know, it's really cool. It feels cool. So he does a lot of stuff like that now. And we've had a couple disagreements, but I feel like the disagreements and the compromises that came from them have made us stronger, which is really cool. Another thing I want to talk about is Hunter went to this like sports doctor, and the dude like did all of his like body density measure, like everything you can think of, like body fat percentage, bone density, like did like a full scan of his body, and like told him that he should do like softcore paleo with 1 cheat meal a week, and that he should do HIIT, which is something I've been telling him, because this motherfucker would be working like 8-9 hours a day, maybe 10 sometimes, and then go to the gym and do an hour of cardio on top of lifting weights. And not to talk shit about Hunter, but the way he would lift weights is so hilarious. It would literally be like he would lock out his arms and he would look like kind of nerdy doing it. It's funny. So like after the doctor actually saying, just do 30 minutes of HIIT 4 times a week, don't fucking kill yourself on the Stairmaster, which is probably why he has such a phenomenal ass, but whatever. Like, I'm like, I told you so. Like, I know this. I went to school for this shit. My problem is the food. It is not the working out. Like, I know what I'm doing. But anyway, so Hunter's like, do this with me. And I'm like, I'm not doing full paleo because that's fucking stupid. I hate fad diets. It's dumb. I don't want to do it. So I still have my peanut butter toast in the morning with coffee. But other than that, like, I've been sticking to not eating certain foods ever, unless it's a cheat meal. I've been eating like handfuls of berries and a couple handfuls of nuts, which is what his doctor said for him to do a day. Like, I'll eat like a lot of berries, because whoever has gotten fat off of eating berries, especially if they're not doing anything. And then we're also doing 90 days of sobriety, which sounds like we're fucking alcoholics or something, but just not drinking alcohol for 90 days, which is something Hunter has like not done since college or earlier, and something I used to do all the time before Hunter, because I would go like a full fucking year without drinking. So that's been cool as well for caloric deficit. And you know what? Something is weird. Something is fucking weird, but I don't give a fuck about food anymore. Hunter's actually having kind of a hard time with it because he's very similar to me. If you followed my fitness journey, which you can search, I'm not going to post it down there because I'm already posting too many things, but if you follow my fitness journey, you know that I have a horrible relationship with food, and everything that I've been trying has basically just been like something that's unsustainable and an amount of working out, like, or hiking or something that makes me able to eat like a giant cheat meal like every couple days, right? Or I would just like tell myself lies in order to get food that I wanted. It's really toxic, and I don't know how to get out of that mindset. Intuitive eating seems to work for me now, which makes no sense. I really feel like the only catalyst to this is Hunter asking me to stick to it with him, like, and the fact that he's doing it. Because he's having a hard time, and I just don't care about food anymore. Like, I was pretty hungry before I started this, and it was a physiological hunger, not like a, oh my God, I can go for like a sandwich, let me like get some Uber Eats. No, it was literally like, my stomach is grumbling, I should probably have like a handful of nuts. And I was like, fuck it, let's bang out this video first. Like, that'll make more sense. I like literally don't care about it anymore, and I've lost 6 pounds. Hunter's lost 10 pounds, because let's be honest, with drinking and partying and all that, and then with the way he eats, like, he eats crazy. I don't know, especially on the weekends. It's been like great for both of us. And it's crazy how he's just like dropping weight. Like, he was like 207 or 205 or something, and now he's like 195. And I've dropped a lot of weight too in a short amount of time, and it's been easy. And I'm hesitant, because I know many times I've said like, wow, it's actually working, and it was working, but in the back of my mind I was always like, this is not sustainable. But I really feel like this is. And what's amazing about Hunter, and I really appreciate this, is like, when we get our cheat meals, first of all, I let him pick whatever the cheat meal is that week, because I don't give a shit anymore. Like, I'm just literally like, yeah, you pick. And he has like strong cravings. He's like, I'm getting a full ass thing of pizza. And he'll order like a pizza, breadsticks, pasta, fucking fried ravioli, all this shit. And then he'll eat like half of everything. But then after that meal, he throws everything away. So it's not like the way I used to do it, where it was like, I would get pizza, pasta, well, I would never get pasta, but like pizza, breadsticks, and whatever dessert they have, and I would eat it until it's gone. But now, after one meal, he throws everything out. So like, if I can only have 2 of the brownies and 3 of the slices of pizza and stuff, that's all I fucking get. And then I gotta wait till next week. And it helps a lot because instead of eating then like a surplus of like 6,000 calories, I'm only eating whatever I can eat in one meal, which because throughout the week I'm like not eating much, my stomach's a lot smaller and I can't eat enough to actually like hinder my progress, which is really fucking cool. And I've been doing HIIT again as well because when I used to go to the gym with Hunter, I wouldn't do HIIT because I was like, I can't do HIIT for an hour plus his fucking lifting. I lift a little faster than him, and then I go do cardio, and I would end up doing cardio for like 90 minutes, which I'm not gonna do HIIT and then hate myself for the rest of it. So I would just do like walking, and I would walk like 90 minutes, only burn like 400 calories. And I'm like, why am I doing 90 minutes of 400 calories when I can do 20 to 30 minutes of 400 calories of HIIT, but I'm not gonna like leave the gym before him or like go separately. It made no sense. So I was doing like a really annoying time wasting amount of cardio, and so was he. And now he actually let me like build his workout plan for lifting weights, and he let me show him all of like the good form and stuff that he should be doing. And I'm grateful for that too, because I feel like he was like appealing to authority and like not listening to me and stuff and like being skeptical of it, but now he's just like, yeah, help me. And that's really cool, especially because like now I spot him when he's doing chest so he can do more, just like I used to spot Jay and sometimes still do. And I don't know. And we've also been going on adventures. I don't think I'm gonna do a full video, so I'll just tell you our most recent adventure was to Big Bear, I always get those confused. And we did mountain biking. So the same place we would go snowboarding, we take the lift up, and the first lift you put your bikes on, the second lift you sit on, you go all the way up, and then you ride down mountain biking. And let me tell you, I don't have any footage of mountain biking because there's no fucking way, dude. Oh my God, mountain biking is so much more dangerous than snowboarding, it feels like, because if you fall, you really fall, and you have to like ride with your ass off the seat, and you're like boom, 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 like bouncing off of big rocks and drops and like turning like, and oh my God, like there was a point where I keep feeling like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't think this sport is for me, but at the same time, I don't want to like be left behind by Hunter because he's really into it. And like, he's fucking good at every sport. Oh my God, it's so annoying. I actually talk to myself as I'm riding down the mountain. I'm like, fuck, it's okay. And I have to stop sometimes, not because I'm tired, but because I literally have to dump the adrenaline because it like builds up so much that I'm like, fuck, I'm going to die. This is the end for me. And I'm just like freaking out, and I will start doing dumb shit when that happens, obviously, because like I'm not in a good headspace. So yeah, there was a point where Hunter was like, yo, if you think you're putting yourself in like any unnecessary danger or harm, we don't have to do this. We can just stick to hiking. But I know he's into it, and I know like I don't want to like make him choose between like going with the boys fucking or alone mountain biking and like hanging out with me on the weekend. So I'm like, yeah, I really always want to be adventurous and try new things and get better at stuff. And I really love how like before Hunter, both me and Hunter were not really outdoorsy people. Like I was hiking, but like there was so much more I wanted to do, but like never really did. And he was kind of like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea, but he would just like hike with random girls or his family or something, and it would be like the easy trails, the ones that all the white girls do or whatever. And I've always been the one that wants to push myself to like fucking peak of Mount Charleston or like doing bridge, whatever, the really scary one. I just really like doing harder, scarier, longer ones, like maybe backpacking and stuff. And I wanted to be adventurous. I just needed someone that also had that gumption to get into it. So it's kind of cool that like he used to have more of like going out and partying and stuff as his way to like relax after a long week of work. And now it's like, yo, we need to get out of town and go to Brian Head or Big Bear or something, or go camping. And I don't know, I fucking love that about him. So it's great. Everything's great. I'm sorry I talked so much about the relationship. There was supposed to be other stuff in there. But yeah, check the description if I did end up talking about this. If not, it is coming very, very soon. I promise you. I really want your support on this, so we'll see. And I hope this gets you hyped if it isn't in this video. I love you so much. Thank you so much for everything you do, and I hope to get back to doing stuff. I have a couch. It's fully furnished. I have a nice living room and an 82-inch TV mounted somehow on a concrete cylinder. I have half of my stream room, just nothing behind me yet. The stream room is actually functional though. And that's another thing. I've been trying to actually stick to streaming on Twitch twice a week. Oh, my Roomba's going, which is a good cue. So, Twitch twice a week. I have not done Thursday yet, but I'm trying to do every Tuesday and Thursday 12 to 3 p.m. PST. So if you want to join me there, link will be in the description. Also Patreon and OnlyFans, very active there. Those are the things I keep up the most. And I will see you in the next one. I love you guys so much. Oh my God.